What's good, everybody? This is the Game Hunter channel with another episode Clash Royale, and in this episode, Sweet Poison is gonna take the spotlight one more time. We're gonna continue using the control deck that I showed you in a couple, probably 1 or 2 episodes ago. But we're gonna make a quick change. We're gonna add the Britney Spears HUD. Because there is never enough Britney Spears on the battlefield, right? It's such a useful unit. I mean, with the regular Britney Spears, with only 2 elixir, you can rush your opponent, you can bother your opponent big time. And if you also have the Britney Spears HUD, you can add a little bit more of firepower. And you can probably make your opponent feel a little bit more uncomfortable thinking that you are carrying or using a spammer deck. This is a hybrid deck. It's really good against spammer decks, and it's also kind of like a spammer deck too, but it's no full spammer deck. I really don't like spammer deck. We don't have the Barbarian HUD in here, we don't have the Tombstone. We're just gonna use Britney Spears HUD because they are awesome. Alright, so you guys probably familiar with the cards right now. The Bombard Tower, we got the Ice Wizard, Musketeer, Arrows, Britney Spears HUD, Hog Rider, Britney Spears, and also Poison. But pay attention to Poison because that is the most important card of this episode. You guys are ready? Let's go. Let's go to the Royal Arena for battle number 1. And let's try to use Poison as best as possible, as a clutch card. That's the whole idea. Musketeer, Arrows, Hog Rider, Ice Wizard, my opponent, Musketeer, Valkyrie, Zap, and Barbarians. This is not gonna be easy, but let's start with Musketeer from the right side. Let's see what my opponent is gonna do. Probably is gonna deploy the Musketeer too, and this is the perfect time for me to use Poison for the first time. We're gonna do damage to the Arena Tower and also to the Musketeer. By the time my Musketeer reached the other side of the bridge, look at that, the Musketeer was almost done. So I can deploy some Britney Spears, I can deploy the Ice Wizard and do some extra damage to that tower. Top right corner tower, 981, 918 hit points left. Not bad at all for an early attack. Now let's deploy the Bombard Tower in the middle to control the match a little bit, okay? Just control the match. That's what we're doing with this deck. One more time, this is what I was trying to explain to you fellas at the beginning. Using the Britney Spears HUD and Britney Spears together is deadly. It's deadly. Look at that. We were able to take care of at least 400 hit points of that tower just by deploying those cheap units. And in the meantime, Poison one more time, get to war, because that's, like I mentioned before, is the most important card in this deck at the moment. Okay? We were... Oof! Really? Really? We have a P.E.K.K.A coming this way. That's, of course, that's awful news. But let's see what we can do. The top right corner tower, 84 hit points left. That's okay. That's okay. The problem is how we're gonna survive a P.E.K.K.A with a wizard together. Problem is gonna be miserable failure. The Bombard Tower, I couldn't deploy the Bombard Tower on time. That was the problem. And the P.E.K.K.A and the Wizard and Valkyrie are gonna do some. Not too bad. The damage that they did to my tower is not the best, but that Musketeer, look at the Musketeer and the Wizard together. Whoa, they completely destroy my tower. That's okay. The top right corner tower is under control, so what I'm gonna do is gonna start getting ready to attack the one in the left side. What do we have? One more time. Ice Wizard go first. Let's see what my opponent's gonna do. Probably Hog Rider. Hog Rider is probably a good idea. Let's do some damage to the Britney Spears HUD because it's really annoying. It's really annoying. In the meantime, Poison is gonna take care of the top right corner tower. Battle is tied at this point. Bombard Tower, Britney Spears, and Ice Wizard are gonna start defending the fort. Things are getting super crazy here. But like I said, Bombard Tower is such a powerful defensive tower. It's probably the most valuable tower in the game so far. So, well, let's see what changes that tower is going to suffer in the future. But for now, I strongly recommend you to use the Bombard Tower. So, such a useful control card. One more time, Poison in a clutch moment, doing some damage to the tower and also to the Barbarians. That's the reason I deployed Poison a little bit further, not in the back, and doing damage to the Elixir Collector. Now, look at this. We have an army, a big army of Britney Spears coming towards the enemy base, doing some interesting damage. They're probably going to destroy the Britney Spears HUD. The P.E.K.K.A is coming. Yeah, I know things can get a little bit ugly, and here comes Poison one more time. That Wizard's going to suffer. That P.E.K.K.A is going to suffer a little bit too, but most important is the damage that the Arena Tower is receiving. Let's go in defensive mode for a few seconds. That is the good thing about this control deck, that we can support these kind of attacks without any issues. Ice Wizard, Bombard Tower, and Britney Spears were capable to destroy that without any issue. And here comes the Hog Rider. Woohoo! Britney Spears hot at the last second, no problema. That's why we have Poison, fellas, one more time. And look at this, Poison is going to be the clutch card of this battle because with 8 seconds left, we were able to destroy the top left corner tower. Fellas, let's go for the next battle. Battle number 2, Royal Arena. Here we go! Okay, one more time. Poison. Most important card of this control deck. Super important to learn how to use it correctly. Bombard Tower in the middle. Perfect. Those archers don't stand a chance. And here comes my Britney Spears trying to do a little bit of push, trying to bother my opponent. Here comes the first Poison. I'm going to be able to reach the Elixir Collector and the tower at the same time, which of course is super annoying because I'm doing so much damage. That Elixir Collector is not going to be able to give you that many charges, probably only 1 or 2. Okay, here comes 1 and probably 1 more if you're lucky, my friend. Probably 1 more if you're lucky, but the damage is already done with Poison. Let's go. Ice Wizard, Britney Spears, hot, and let's see if we can start pushing a little bit further. We got some archers on defense. We got a cannon also. Probably it's a good time for me to use Poison one more time. Look at this. This is so effective. That's why Poison, like I mentioned before, is one of the clutchest cards in the game, because you can, the area of effect is huge. It's huge. You can do damage to a lot of buildings at the same time. Let's keep using Poison, fellas, because you see, number 1, it's gonna annoy your opponent, and number 2, it's gonna allow you to remove or take care of some of the hit points of the enemy defensive building without sacrificing your troops. So that way we can use the Bombard Tower and also the Britney Spears hot to defend our base. Arrows taking care of the minions, no problema. In 2 seconds we were capable to destroy that offensive attack with Hog Rider and minions, which usually is really scary, but that's what we have arrows to. I tell you, fellas, this control deck is quite effective. You use it correctly, okay? I remember I was seeing some comments in the... I posted an episode regarding the deck that Jason was using during the tournament. And some people were saying, oh, that cannot be the best deck in the game because I've been using it and it's not working. Well, dude, remember, 60% is, 40%, I believe 40% is the deck, 60% is the quality of the player, fellas. So, like I say, probably this deck is not a work for everybody, but if you use it correctly, you can definitely annoy your opponent. In this case, what I'm trying to use Poison as often as possible and to do damage as many buildings as possible in order to annoy my opponent so much faster. Look at this. This tower is going down thanks to Poison, thanks to the... Well, Hog Rider didn't do much damage. Britney Spears keep pushing. Hog Rider's coming this way, no problem. That's why we had the Bombard Tower. We got Musketeer, Britney Spears in defense. And now we're going to start pushing forward with double power, double Britney Spears, which is, I believe, is so cool. They do so much damage together. Of course, arrows can take care of them. Also, some Poison can take care of Britney Spears. But in the meantime, look at that. One more time, we're pushing with Musketeer, Britney Spears, Poison, and one more time, Poison is becoming the clutch card in this episode. The Hog Rider has been mostly like a decoy because all the damage is being done by the Poison, right? My opponent is desperate right now, using Fireball to destroy the Britney Spears hot and also the Bombard Tower. Let's go one more time with the Hog Rider. One more time, the idea is to just destroy my opponent because Poison is what is taking care of business. In this case, one more time, clutch card, tower down, Poison. If you use it correctly, trust me, you can annoy your opponent big time and you can take care of enemies in Arena 6, 7, and even 8 without any issues. Fellas, this is the Game Hunter. I will see you in the next episode, Clash Royale. Take care, everybody.